What is going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 290 of Littleroot Listens. As always, I'm your host, Carter Noble, joined by our fantastic co-host, Carl Wilkin. What's up, dude?
I'm not alone. Yay!
I mean, to be fair, you could have, found someone.
So the first time it happened, it was a little last minute.
Yeah, it was pretty sporadic that it just all kind of fell apart, yeah.
But now we're on to our first North American regional in Pittsburgh. As you see on screen, for those that are watching, we have the top 16 for that. I believe top cut was 15 players, if my math is correct. I think.
Sure.
I believe it was X and 2 got you 10 wins got you into the top cut, into the asymmetrical top cut. I know I've mentioned this last week, but I'll mention it again because you weren't here. You may not know this, may not remember it. Because they changed how the Swiss rounds into top cut work. Now it is an extra Swiss round and one less round of top cut. So effectively,
yes,
it is effectively asymmetrical top 8 instead of asymmetrical top 16. It doesn't change a whole lot. It's pretty much the same going, and you're playing one extra Swiss round instead of the first round of asymmetrical where it's like 5 games to get to top 16 or whatever, right? Like you got 24 players, over half of them end up in a bye situation because you're waiting on the bottom half of like 17 and 20 something to play out their games against like 10 through 16 or something to get to the point of playing an actual top cut and getting everything evened. It all works out in the same kind of manner. It's just this will have less buys in top cut, so less people sitting around waiting for stuff to happen. But yeah, I got to watch a little bit of this off and on. I got to watch more Saturday than I did yesterday than I did today. It was a fun event. I heard that it got delayed starting because you couldn't get in quickly or something.
Yeah, I heard it was kind of a disaster.
Something about like long lines and a metal detector and all that jazz, which I've been to like enough like Midwest regionals, like they have usually stuff set up to like for metal detectors. It's really just quick walk through, in, out, pretty fast stuff. I don't see that being like that big of a bottleneck anymore. Like I can count on one hand the number of times I got stopped going through the detectors at NAIC and Milwaukee. Like I think I got stopped one time, and it was because my Switch set it off. And so like once they checked it the first time, they recognized like, oh, that's the Switch. They let me through pretty much every other time after that. But yeah, I don't see the metal detectors being the problem. I think they just had that many people jamming up the entrance,
which I also could very much see.
Like that feels like 100% probably what happened. But overall, it was a nice run event from what I got to watch. I mentioned this to y'all last week, like in private, talking about how I'm not really a big fan of like the color casting in VGC. It just feels like people are always behind when they're doing the color cast for VGC because turns are so quick.
Yes.
Like you have limited time to talk about the things that are happening on screen, and so when you get hyped up and start getting like ahead, you try to get ahead of it and do color casting and whatnot, it gets real kind of bogged down, lost in the sauce kind of moments, because you're still talking about what just happened and they're already going back into whatever the next turn is. And so it just they do it. Color casting is a big thing in EU. They do it a lot for their games, like their esports games over there, which is fine for most games, like League of Legends and things like that. Like that's a very like real time battles are happening, things are going on. So that color casting fits a little bit better, getting the hype. Same with like the sports they pick. Soccer is an action is always happening, moving, something's going on. There's no real breaks or pauses or anything like that. And so the color casting there works really well. and it doesn't really translate that great to turn-based games like Pokemon.
Yeah, that's like the big thing, right? Like, I mean, like you said, Pokemon is also incredibly fast paced. Like, I mean, you have 45 seconds in between turns.
Yeah,
So like
if that, if they take the full time.
Yeah, and that, like you said, that's, taking the full time. There's a very good chance that like some players won't do that.
Yeah. On the flip side, NA needs to work on their transitions a little better. Like they're in between whatever they're doing. I don't mind the interviews. I don't mind the cool stuff. I didn't care for the Pokemon Center like merch plugs those I was not a fan of. Like it felt
Hey, Carl, give us money.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Like, why are you plugging this in the middle of a regional? Like, you could have just sent me an email and it would have done the same thing. Because guess
Carl,
what?
Money.
Because guess what? I'm not going to sit through the commercial break for the 15 minutes to wait on whatever match is coming up. I'm going to get up, walk away, come back, do whatever. I'm not the type of person who's going to sit through 15 minutes of filler content if I'm wanting to watch Pokemon, right?
Yep. I'm here for the games. That's what I care about. Everything else is just kind of a mute point, right? Like I don't care.
Yep. That was like my one gripe about this event was just like the pacing for like games felt kind of weird for a North American regional. Normally we're pretty much on top of it. There were times where it's just like 15 minutes, 20 minutes in between rounds. I'm just like, geez, like what is going on that's taking so long for these rounds? Like you're finishing up game 3 of this round, but you still have 20 minutes between that and the next round. Like what is going on? Why are we so slow? That said, we still finished way before TCG was done. That was I got to watch the end of TCG's Masters Finals. That was a hoot.
I got to watch some of it.
Well, you didn't miss a whole lot.
I saw where you had texted me. You're like, "Hey, explain this deck to me." I'm like, "All right, hold on, let me go pull it up." And then by that time, just like, "Yep, there's and he's conceding." Okay, cool. So that was your finals. I'm like, what? What did I miss? But evidently,
missing a card. That was what they came down to.
Because he had in a previous round, like popped off, and like when he did, he like threw the card, and so his opponent scooped it up in his pile. So like, I understand how it happened.
Yeah, but even the opponent maybe like you go through and you look through your stuff and. But yeah, again, like
the one of the commentators says, I really hope that his opponent like goes to take a screenshot of his deck for Twitter, and he has 5 monkey dories on.
Right, like that'd be so fitting. Best way to figure out where you're missing a card at is your opponent that you beat happens to have it. I also I know that they are starting to get into the point where like everyone's using the same sleeves now. There's a specific brand of sleeves that are getting pushed around TCG players like at the bigger events. And that's super duper they're super duper. I guess the best way to put it is they're just anal about what sleeves they use. And the players apparently have had a hard time finding sleeves that they like. And so there's like a smaller brand of sleeves running around doing getting starting to garner attention and starting you see more use. And so but they only come in specific colors, and so all the ones that get handed out are all the same color.
I've already decided when it comes to TCG decks, I'm gonna buy custom sleeves from Dragon Shield and try them out. I don't know what I'm putting on them yet, but
I would worry so much if for things like that. I'm just getting nicks and marks and whatnot.
So for those, I'm going to do over sleeves as well.
So you're going all hardcore.
Oh yeah, I mean, why not, right? I did it when I played Legacy. I triple sleeved my deck. I don't need to go that deep on it, but
all right. I feel like we've done enough lead up intro where most of the people are bored of us talking about non VGC.
We haven't even talked about football yet, though.
Oh, we don't need to talk about that. Trust me.
Oh, yeah, please, let's just ignore that today.
Yeah, football for a lot of us has been it was a fun up and down day, but it was a rough day for a lot of people. Chupacross, Pittsburgh Regional Champion. Congratulations. I think there was something similar to this team running around at one point. It's just I think this maushold's new, which is kind of cool.
I like maushold.
I know you do. Like
That's
we
the
all know
feedback I
that.
can provide here. Maushold is really cool.
I didn't get to watch any of the finals. By the time I got to it, they were pretty much wrapping up, done. But the team feels very close to just like the standard Doug balanced stuff with the Basculegion and this Incineroar to kind of plays like interaction. And then we have this Maushold just being a redirector and just being generally annoying because we also have Fate and Super Fang.
And
And
Terra Poison's actually really interesting on this too. Like being able to resist a incoming like close combat on you, being able to resist a like Dire Claw, not being able to be poisoned off of Dire Claw. Granted, that's not the one that you really care about, but it
yeah,
is like an incidental synergy,
it's an
right?
incidental thing. Yeah. When you want your Maushold to be on the field for as long as possible, poison is probably one of the worst ones you could get.
And like just resisting everything that Sneasler is going to do, since it is if they're the unburdened set, they're going to be faster than you. Like just
Yeah, like as long as it's not the unburdened acrobatic set, you're probably fine.
and even then, you probably can take an acrobatics pretty okay, especially if you have instant and can intimate down.
That's a good question. I don't know what the actual calc is for Maushold. I don't have my Maushold calcs right up here on face value. But Maushold is slow. It's like as a redirector, we kind of saw it, like I said, a lot with Annihilate at Frankfurt. What's funny is Mouse Ape kind of fell off as it went into day 2 in Frankfurt. Like it had a pretty good conversion rate from day 1 to day 2, but then as it like saw more play in day 2, the win rate kind of fell on it a little bit. And so now we're just seeing like Maushold plus whatever, Maushold plus Golden Go, Maushold plus Basculegion is probably a really fine lead. Maushold kind of opens up this team to be more than just like a Ensign plus Dragonite style lead team, where you're like, I'm going to fake out and set my tailwind, and I'm going to pivot into my damage tacker while also clicking Scale Shot on the Dragonite, and then I'm going to sweep your team kind of situation. That's usually how these Dragonite Golden Go teams kind of play out. Is just like Dragonite lead, get my tailwind up or my Scale Shot off, whatever I need to do, swap Incineroar out into whatever damage I wanted to swap into. I now have speed advantage. I can take care of whatever's in front of me between Scale Shot plus X.
Plus, I actually really like the redirector here with the choice spec Scoldy as well. Like just being able to guarantee a hit off with this thing. Like I mean, Golden Go's not like incredibly fast, right? Like so if you don't have your tailwind up, being able to just go, hey, what if we didn't bother that real quick and instead you just took a full power make it rain?
Exactly. One of the things you probably could get away with is being the modest choice specs Golden Go and just raining hell.
Literally, just yeah. I'm sure that's gonna do at least some damage.
Yeah. But yeah, I like the Doug teams. I'm a big fan of this stuff. The balance stuff, the Doug core, whatever you want to call it. I like these types of teams. They feel very strong. They feel like there's a lot of flexibility still within them. You can kind of mix and match the last 3 slots depending on like how you want to play. You could probably maybe play Rillaboom and like a Rillaboom plus Incineroar in these 2 slots instead if you wanted to have more fake out control. I've seen like Pelipper in this last slot to pair better with like a Basculegion.
I've seen that a handful of times as well.
So you get like a rain mode. I like the flexibility that these Doug teams have kind of developed.
I also kind of like the Pelipper on these teams because then like you have another Tailwinder as well. Like you don't have to then like rely on Dragonite to be your like form of speed control. You can be a more offensive oriented Dragonite as well in that case. I don't hate Pelipper in that slot. I really like the redirector. Yeah, because I mean, like, Pelipper can do some damage, but its main thing is just like speed control, right? May that be Tailwind or like just setting rain for your Basculegion. Like that's what it's meant to do.
Yeah. Which Basculegion with adaptability doesn't always need the help anyway. Like you're going to pick up most of the KOs anyway. But we also, for this one in particular, we swapped the Wave Crash nuke out for Liquidation, which means we're looking to play more of that follow me to redirection set like Maushold with Maushold to kind of protect our Basculegion's Focus Sash. Make sure we're going to get maybe 3 hits off with Basculegion instead of 2. Let's see here. Next up, this is the fun team. This is the one that everybody's going to be excited to hear about because this team has Hariyama and Primarina, and it's super duper cool. I was making a joke. It's like he's got double redirectors for this King Gambit, but it's only just one redirector because the Sinistcha is Calm Mind Machagacha.
I heard what you said.
Yeah.
But I don't process what you said.
It is a Calm Mind, Heat Proof Machagacha Sinistcha. This Sinistcha is set up to sweep. That is its job. It is going to come up with a couple Calm Minds and Strength Sap to heal up and just spam Machagacha.
And then it just becomes impervious and your opponent becomes sad.
Yeah. It also just happens to be Trick Room for this very bulky, very strong Hariyama. Which also, funnily enough, is like thick fat. So I don't know if we're just like going for like, I'm gonna reduce all the fire type attacks coming into my team. Which
I could see. I mean, fine. you have multiple like weaknesses to fire, but like also just having like something you and I were talking about a little bit before is like the rise of Ninetales and therefore like the rise of like incidental ice coverage as well. And like granted, like ice coverage isn't really doing a whole lot into this team in particular. You only have like the one weakness to it in Sinistcha, but like just making it where you can have just another resist is like really useful in that case.
Yeah. The rest of this team is it kind of reeks of like the Volcarona King Gambit balance stuff. I said last week that I don't think this is going to do as well going forward just because it's a little bit harder for King Gambit to safely set up in front of people. Terra Ghost fixes that a lot. Terra Ghost means that you can't get close combated. Terra Ghost means you're not getting fake out. So your sword stance is safer in a way because it changes how your opponent has to play, like Sneasler and things like that. It's like, oh, Dire Claw's not great, and close combat's not gonna always hit.
I don't want to Dire Claw this because if you don't Terra, then I'm like not doing anything.
Exactly, like it creates that little bit of a headache.
If I close combat you and you Terra, then I'm also not doing anything.
Yeah, so it does make that sword stance play a little bit safer. So this adaptation is kind of nice. Also, that means you don't have to play Protect, being like able to just like Terra and be immune to fake out, which is really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, usually sword you would see 3 attacks I really like.
So now you get to play that Iron Head, which is really powerful. Volcarona is our redirector / spree control / damage reduction in the form of Flame Body and Struggle Bug. Flamethrower is 10 power more than Fiery Dance, but doesn't have the upside of raising your special attack like Fiery Dance does. Instead, you have the burn chance, which is fine.
Which, like, I think is also just like it's either fine, right? I mean,
yeah,
like just fishing for burns with like Flamethrower and Flame Body is probably just enough.
It's fine regardless. I think.
Plus, it comes down. You're not trying to sweep with this Volcarona, right? Like this is a support set, so just being able to have that extra damage on it makes sense here.
Yeah, if that was the goal, I think you just go for Overheat though.
Overheat, or I could see Heat Wave as well. Yeah, just going like full spread.
Like you don't. Wide Guard's not as big of a problem in this format as it was in Reg I, so I feel like you could get away with Heat Wave, which in a pinch, Heat Wave can be more damage because of single target if you're in a one-on-one situation, but then is less damage if it's spread. And there's a lot of math there that we can spend hours talking about. Archaludon's the standard sturdy power herb set with Dragon Pulse, Electroshock, Flash Cannon. Nothing really to write home about here. Primarina is a choice specs.
Choice specs Hydro Cannon, baby.
Yeah, going to try and pick up KOs. So it's really, really cool. Just like having specs Hydro Cannon, just like, oh, this is the one last bot in my group. I'm up against the last bot on their team, Hydro Cannon specs, just to try and pick up a cheeky Oko there. I'm
cool. Not in love with having just like 4-step moves.
I think it's fine. Like what else are you gonna do? Is just like play Ice Beam or Terra Blast?
I kind of like Terra Blast. I like Ice Beam. Those were like my first two thoughts.
I feel like then you're just like, oh, I have to Terra this Pokemon a lot more often because you're playing the Terra Blast. Yeah. Otherwise, it's just a stab water move. So, well, not stab water, but it's a stab. It's just a normal type move.
Which, like, what are you hitting with, like, normal type damage?
Exactly. Like, what would at that point? What would be the point of clicking that versus Moonblast, right? Like, you just,
or that versus Hyper Voice, or yeah.
Like, you just click.
So I guess the real thing is like having Ice Beam means you're better against opposing grass types, but you don't want Primarina against opposing grass types as well, because then like you're forced to Terra. But you also have Volcarona, so you're not really worried about opposing grass types. Between like Sinistcha, Volcarona, Archaludon, King Gambit, you don't really care. Like, fun fact, having a bunch of resist for grass means that like you just don't really care about it.
Yeah, that's the trade-off, right? So it's just like, so then I'm really looking at this like, why are we Terra Grass? I think Terra Grass is just one, it's a grass resist. But two, it's just like you're not boned to a Moongus when you're trying to Hydro.
I think that's probably what it is.
That's 100% why we're grass. It's not really defensive options. It's more of a I'm not dead to Rage Powder kind of move. But yeah, this team is really, really cool. I want to see more Hariyama in the format. I'm not sure if I want to see Thick Fat, but I want to see more Hariyama in the format.
What is the alternative?
Guts. Or Sheer Force. It's one of those two. Which Sheer Force isn't great.
Sheer Force, you're not really doing anything here.
But Guts means you're playing like a different set.
It's also very true.
I do like Hariyama a lot, though. It was back in the very, very first like video for deep dives for Scarlet and Violet. I'm like, Hariyama's in this game. Hariyama has the potential to be very, very good in this game. But then we got Iron Hands.
Proceeds to do nothing.
So it was like, just proceeds to see Iron Hands as better Hariyama because Iron Hands was better Hariyama.
Is in fact better Hariyama.
But now that we don't have Iron Hands, Hariyama
Hari can go off and do its thing.
Exactly. But yeah, super duper cool team. Really, really like a lot of what's going on here. Yeah. Next up, Rain. Standard Rain.
Yep, that is in fact a Rain team.
This is Rain. This is I said this is like the standard Rain team last week. I'm going to say it again. This is literally the standard Rain team.
Yep, that is in fact a Rain team.
You play the Sinistcha for Trick Room, plus Rage Powder for your Archaludon, plus Hospitality for your Archaludon, your Basculegion, your Ursaluna, Incineroar. All these Pokemon like to get extra healing. Sinistcha does that for you. Sinistcha also helps you with speed control for your Ursaluna, or helps you somehow get into like KO ranges with Bachagacha. It just does everything for you. Mm-hmm. Pelipper, opposite end of the speed control. Set Tailwind, it gives you rain for Archaludon. Makes Basculegion hit like a truck. One of the weird things is this is a Terra Flying Incineroar. That's not normal.
Okay.
It's cool. It's smart. I like it because rock coverage isn't super duper popular.
Yep.
So what flying does is you lose your ground weakness, you lose your fighting weakness. Like boom, two big common coverage moves for Incineroar are now not as effective against your Incineroar, meaning you get to do more things with it.
Yeah, I actually really like it. It's really like when you first see it, you're like, "What is going on here?" But no, I actually think it's really intelligent.
Yeah. I will say I do miss like the flare blitz on Incineroar. That was one of the things that I really liked seeing on some of the rain teams was flare blitz Incineroar, because you don't always have control of the weather. You won't always have rain up, so just having that flare blitz for big damage into certain mons is beneficial, because there's a lot of situations where Incineroar parting shot's not going to do a whole lot of nothing. Knockoff's going to do minimal damage, and flare blitz means that you can probably pick up a KO on a low HP Pokemon. And not having that means that Incineroar kind of runs into that all my friends are dead syndrome a little bit, because once you use knockoff and knock off the item, you're doing significantly less damage.
Yep.
The rest of this team's pretty standard. Terra Bug, Archaludon. I've seen the Terra Bug be Terra Fighting a lot. I saw that a lot in the Frankfurt pastes. It was Terra Fighting was super duper common. Bug was like the second or third most common, because again, fighting resist, really really important there. But I did figure out that the body press means you just have to you need one less stamina boost to pick up KOs from where you would normally do for like 2 stamina boosts.
Huh.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Because it makes body press stab, and so it effectively changes that calc from needing 2 stamina boosts to going to, like, a lot of the times a good roll on 1 stamina boost with stab will do it for you.
Yeah, that's actually really interesting, and not something that I would have thought about.
Yeah. Defensively, it's not great. You still have a lot of problems as a fighting type, but it's fine. Especially with how common like Annihilate has become. It's like people are carrying answers to fighting type Pokemon pretty well, because Psychic's like the only way you're hitting Annihilate for super effective outside of flying, and
So I start Terra Darking it. They're not ready for my Terra Dark Annihilate.
We'll have to go look on Lab Mouse sometime and see like what the common Terra types are now, because water was the most common, I think, out of Frankfurt, which was interesting.
I'd be surprised if it's still like water or fire or grass or
grass is the one I think it should be like we would start to see more of as we go along. Mm-hmm. But with that, people like the flying coverage coming back being a popular like answer to Annihilate on like Hurricane, Acrobatics, etc., grass probably isn't the best idea right now.
Yeah, my experience, Terra Fire made rain really hard, and Terra Grass doesn't really help that matchup either.
That's part of why they went to water, is it helps against the Basculegion, it helps against the Pelipper. The problem is Archaludon just hits you with Electric Shot and you feel bad. So you have to really play around that Archaludon really well.
The TLDR is Annihilate's not very good into rain.
Yeah, that's kind of part of it. I'm not going to talk about the next team because, again, it is pretty much just rain. Yeah, it is the exact same. Has that Terra Flying. Same set for everything. Yep. Cool story. Justin Tang. We know this team. We've seen this team a lot. Last season.
Good team is still good.
Good team is still good. Team. I don't think he's made any changes since the last time he's played it. I think it's pretty much all the same moves, all the same items. I think I literally have it on Showdown. I can double check. Where is it? Yep. All the same. Literally all the same. So there's not much to really explain away from this one. We are just kind of this kind of balancey, pivoty kind of team. Dragonite's doing a very similar thing to what other Dragonites are doing, but we also have swapped Haze for like Stomping Tantrum, because we don't want to haze away our coaching boosts. that we might get.
Yep.
I've seen a lot of people swapping back to like the mirror herb sets, specifically for like Annihilate and things like that, because Annihilate does not like eating a +2 Flare Blitz.
I know there was a Flamigo that was on stream yesterday as well.
Yes.
I couldn't tell you item wise what it was though.
We could probably go find out. I believe it was probably Sash. If I remember which one it was, I think it was
Yes,
Sash.
yes, you are correct. Now that you say that. Yeah, as now that you say that, yes, it was in fact Sash.
Yeah. But yeah, the really cool techie part of this team is this max speed Rillaboom playing drum beating. I like this a lot. I think this is my preferred Rillaboom if I play Rillaboom. I love this jolly drum beating set because you're just faster than a lot of things are expecting you to be. Drum beating helps with your speed interactions, letting your Golden Go, your Arcanine, your Sneasler, whatever, go ahead of other things, even without like the Unburden or the Icy Wind or whatever. I like this a lot. I'm sad that this is not the norm. Wood Hammer's cool, but I really like drum beating.
Dude, honestly, drum beating is really just a really sweet piece of tech on Rillaboom. Just being able to have that like incidental speed coverage is really cool.
Yeah, the team effectively has 3 mons that can control the speed like in a certain way with Tailwind, Icy Wind, and drum beating. So it leaves you flexible. You still have options. If Dragonite isn't good, you still have 2 mons that kind of impact the speed options.
Mm-hmm.
Or if Ninetales isn't good, you have Dragonite and Rillaboom. If they match your Tailwind with their own Dragonite, you can still drum beating and get a speed advantage that way. Like there's a lot to like about drum beating Rillaboom in this format, I think. Next up, Joshua Lorsey. Playing. Oh, this is the team that won Frankfurt. They swapped the Terror type on Ursaluna.
So you lied to me then.
Other than that Terror type swap, and I think this Ninetales Terror type swap. I think it is literally the
Terror Ground is really interesting.
I think it is the exact same 6.
Why are we Terror Ground?
Golden Go.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe.
I figured it was steel coverage.
This blows. I believe this Oko's Golden Go. I believe it.
Oh. Okay.
It forces a Terra 100%. Like I can guarantee that one. It forces a Terra. I'm not sure if it has 100% guaranteed Oko. I can check real fast. But yeah, this feels like it's pretty close to the Frankfurt team. So it's about it does 67 to 84. Oh, well, that'd help if I was not a minus special attack nature. It's like 75% damage to a Golden Go. And so since you're faster than Golden Go, it forces a situation of I'm going to take 3/4 of your HP or something, and you're going to put me to Sash, but then I'm going to get to attack you again before you can go again with Blizzard or whatever, so you can't redirect out of it, and then you probably go down to that Blizzard. It's kind of neat.
Yeah, I can get down with that.
It also probably helps against like Archaludon some. I would imagine that helps a little bit there. It probably helps against opposing Sneasler because you can outspeed Sneasler naturally. So if they are like the Unburden, but they don't have their Unburden yet, you outspeed it that way. Because most Sneaslers are just playing the Adamant Sneasler. They're not playing the Jolly one anymore. They want to just hit hard. 172 is plenty fast after Unburden anyway. So like you don't need the extra whatever points in speed to be Jolly for that point. So yeah, the Terra Ground on this Ninetales is usually Ghost because we're Sash. We don't want to get fake outed. Makes sense.
But as a result, we have Protect here as well. So
yeah, we swapped out Encore Disable, or we swapped out Encore, Disable, and Icy Wind for Aurora Veil, Terra Blast, and Protect. And then Ursaluna, this is pretty much the same move set. They just swapped the Terra type from Electric to Water, which I don't understand why you would change to Water at this point.
Yeah, it's not like what are you?
It's the same. Electric has less weaknesses, and you get that steel resist that you're looking for from Golden Go.
But water, you're weak to.
You're weak to grass. Like you're
Have
weak
you
to
thought
grass.
about that, Carl?
Yeah, no, that's why I'm saying water's bad. That's why I'm saying the Electric Terra was the smart Terra. Water just feels wrong. Because you're already weak to grass, so now you're just like, I can't get away from that grass weakness, which is on a really common Pokemon in Rillaboom. Like, I feel like this was cooking a team that was already like figured out, and then you're just trying to like make it your own. But I feel like we just kind of went a little too far.
No such thing.
Vincenzo Chico. This is Kingambit Volcarona Balance. This has got the Electabuzz, it's got Volcarona, the Coaching Sneasler, Loaded Dice, Scale Shot, Dragonite. Notably, this one is also the Extreme Speed set, so it's Terra Steel instead of Terra Fairy, which is kind of this neat little tech. Just be like, okay, I need to resist Fairy type attacks because I don't want to have to take it. I'm going to be Terra Steel. But I also don't want to play Tailwind on this one because I don't care about speed. I have extreme speed, so I'm just going to hit you.
Yeah, just smack them.
Notable thing, this Sneasler is the Poison Touch variant, not the Unburden variant with Sash. So this one's probably Jolly. If I had to imagine, this one is probably Jolly.
I can get with that. That seems about right.
That's I kind of like the trade off. Is like if you're unburdened, you don't want to be Jolly. If you're not unburdened, you do want to be Jolly because then you want to win like the speed ties against opposing Sneasler. And in the situation of nobody has unburdened yet, so also means we get to play Fake Out, which is fine. It just acts as like the fastest Fake Out in the game. That's a fine thing to have. It puts a lot of pressure on like other Sneaslers and whatnot. I feel like we could have, if we swapped this Kingambit for the Kingambit that placed a little bit farther ahead, this team would be a lot more like solid. I don't know. Terra Dark just feels like we still lose.
It feels outdated.
Yeah. I feel like we still just lose the close combat every time. It's just like, man, fighting coverage is everywhere. Why are we still weak to fighting?
Yeah, I think, like I said, just it feels outdated.
But yeah, like the rest of this is the pretty standard Volcarona, Electabuzz, foregoing E-Web for Protect in this situation, which is fine.
Sure.
That's fine. It's a fine trade-off. I don't see a situation where it's bad. This would be a situation where you'd really like to have that drum beating Rillaboom. Instead, we're the Assault Vest Woodhammer set, which is fine. It's not great, but it's fine. This is a similar version to what we just saw, but playing the more balanced core with Basculegion and Rillaboom and Magmar as its fire type. Thoughts on this one with Terra Fire Kingambit?
I still think you just want to be I think you just want to be something that's like fighting resist, right? Like either Terra Poison or like Terra Ghost or something like that. I don't see a need. Is the simplest way to put it, I guess.
Fairy is one that comes to mind as like a good Terra type.
Then the problem with that is you're weak to opposing Kingambits.
You're kind of, most Kingambits aren't playing the Iron Head anymore. Like that's the big kicker, is most of them are just double dark Sword Stance Protect.
Yeah.
And so the thing you're scared of is the Sneasler sitting next to him. because then you're weak to Dire Claw, and that's where the Ghost one feels like it's really big brain play. It causes a lot of just like internal tension on your opponents. Like, oh, the common fighting type is Sneasler, which also usually just carries Poison Stab. I can't click either safely into this King Gambit. I have to make a read or hope my opponent overcommits to a Terra or whatnot, and then I can start attacking the King Gambit. Which that's why the Ghost is so cool, because then you still resist the poison, you're immune to fighting, it's fine. Life Orb, Moonblast, Blizzard, Ninetales. That is a new one. I have not seen a Life Orb Ninetales.
That's gonna chunk people too, man.
I could not imagine how strong this Life Orb Blizzard is. This probably hurts a lot.
I mean, it's probably like, if you don't resist, you're probably taking a real good chunk.
Well, yeah, for sure. Other big thing is the Terra Fighting Choice Scarf Terra Blast Basculegion. I played Jamie Boyd's team, and they were using Terra Fairy Terra Blast Basculegion in Frankfurt. That was super duper cool. I really liked it a lot. It was super duper niche. This one is playing Terra Fighting, being able to hit the dark types that threaten it, hit the steel types that are popular right now. There's a lot to like about these like Choice Scarf random Terra Blast bonds. It's kind of neat.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I think that there's just some really interesting types that you can change to, right? Like, yeah, I can dig it.
There's some really unique Terra types. I think it was with Ro, I was talking about just like Tyranitar is a Pokemon that's just like, it's figured out that you just Terra this thing pretty much every time it hits the field, because its natural bulk is usually good enough that once it Terras, unless you're sitting in front of like specifically Archaludon, it's fine. Basculegion is one of those Pokemon that's just like, it's fast enough that if you Terra this and the Terra type is good into your opponent, it could probably pick up a KO or two before it goes down.
Yeah, pretty easily, right?
Right? Like, oh, they clicked knockoff into my Basculegion. Well, now it's resisted, and I'm hitting the Incineroar for a chunk. With that's not Wave Crash, right? Or, oh, they have to respect my Terra Blast. Now I get to flip turn for free. Like, it creates those kind of mind games of, what is my Basculegion doing? Like, what is it? What do I have to watch out for? Gives it extra coverage that it wouldn't normally get.
I think that in and of itself is worth a lot.
Oh yeah, on a something like adaptability Basculegion, 100%. Heatwave on Magmar is cool. That's it.
Yeah, I think having like an instant.
I like the spread move on. I like the spread move, not overheat on Magmar. That's kind of nice. Jeremy Cote. This is the carbon copy Frankfurt team. This is literally carbon copy rip paste planted.
Cool. Good talk.
Terra Electric Blood Moon, Terra Ghost Ninetales, Terra Flying. We didn't talk about it a lot in the first time we saw it. This is a Terra Flying Grassy Seed Unburdened Acrobatic Sneasler with Sword Stance. This thing is looking to just nuke Pokemon.
It is looking to get a single free turn, and then you're probably dead.
We have double Fake Out to get to that situation where we have a Sword Stance opportunity, and whatever is sitting across from it after that Sword Stance is probably gone. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It is probably gone. Again, Terra Flying is cool. Like on Sneasler, it like the ground weakness is gone. Get Stab Acrobatics, which we know is from seeing things like a Roaring Moon do that. It's really, really powerful. Yeah, feels really powerful. This is the Terra Electric Blood Moon with leftovers, Yawn, etc. This is the Pokemon. It's just like, it becomes kind of raid bossy almost. It becomes really hard to just take it out in one single go. Yawn, very, very powerful move. Being able to force switches, gives you something to do after Blood Moon. That's not just click Earth Power or Protect. So it kind of puts that thought into your opponent's head. It's like, okay, they can click Earth Power, they can click Yawn. Like, do I let them click Earth Power for free and try to take damage, or do I attack into that slot and they just protect, and then I'm kind of boned that way? Like, how it creates a lot more like onus on your opponent to respect that Blood Moon after it just clicked its most powerful move. What's next? Here's a wild one. We have a Choice Band Dragonite and a Wide Lens Technician Terra Fairy Pop Bomb Maushold. There you go, Carter.
And
also, this Mirror Orb Incineroar is really cool. Kind of doing the similar thing to what we are talking about with the Arcanine. Once it's like, oh, the Annihilate got its Defiant boost, it goes to +1. Well, now you go to +2. And so
yeah, because it copies the stat changes, not the current level, right?
Yes, it copies the change, not the end result. So if it goes +2 for Defiant, Incineroar will copy.
You also get +2.
Yeah. Which Annihilate probably doesn't appreciate +2 Flare Blitz or Knockoff.
Probably not.
The rest of this, outside of the 3 Pokemon that are left to talk about, is just Golden Go and the same Choice Scarf adaptability, basically, we talked about earlier, with Terra Fighting and Terra Blast. Whimsicott's doing very similar things to what it was doing in Regulation I. Tailwind, Encore, Moonblast. This one has Protect because it's Sash. I feel like with the Ghost Terra, you don't have to be Sash. Or you just play Covert Cloak. And then you don't have to worry about being Ghost. I feel like Ghost is the problem. Like, being Terra Ghost isn't great on a Whimsicott. You probably want that, like, Steel or Fire or some kind of better defensive Terra.
Yeah. I mean, there for a while you were like Terra Dark, so you
couldn't get Prankster taunted, yeah.
Yeah. But no that's not really something you need to be worried about now.
Yeah, that's less of an issue. Most of the taunt users are not Prankster, or you'll get your move off and then you get taunted, and then you're just kind of like, oh, I'm stuck clicking Moonblast now.
Oh no! Anyway.
Oh no! Yeah. Wide Lens Pop Bomb Maushold, really really cool. Like this a lot. Why go for Super Fang when you could just be angry throwing children at people?
Why Super Fang? You could just KO.
Yeah. Why put him in half when you can just KO him? And then Choice Specs, Inner Focus, Dragonite. This is Giga Impact.
Oh.
Yeah, we are really far in the tank here. I wonder how many Giga Impacts they actually like landed this game, like in this week.
I'm curious if they actually ever clicked it.
I am too. I want to know. If anybody watched any matches from Omofenzi, let me know how many Giga Impacts they hit, because I am interested. Also, Outrage, Stomping Tantrum, Extreme Speed. The rest of that's pretty standard Dragonite. Yeah. Yichen Wu. Kind of standardy balanced stuff. Notable thing, this is a stalwart Archaludon with Power Herb, not the sturdy variant that we're used to seeing.
Okay.
I'm not sure how great that is. Because there's a lot of people gunning for your head if you're an Archaludon. Like, you don't fold quite necessarily to like a paper sandwich, but like a paper bag, but you don't take hits very well, and so the sturdy's pretty nice. I don't know if Stalwart is probably that super important. I feel like Follow Me is less than we expected it to be in this format. We don't see it a ton. We still see it, like Rage Powder and whatnot, but they're not quite as common as what they used to be, if that makes sense. Like, you would probably you would see 2 Pokemon like on teams. Like, you'd have a Rage Powder user or 2, or like 2 Follow Me users. You'd really would just like protect your Annihilate, protect your Sweeper, or whatever, your Archaludon, whatever. So it being a little bit less is interesting. Safety goggles, Defiant, Terror, Water, Annihilate, Rage Fist, Close Combat, Final Gambit, Coaching. Pretty standard Annihilate stuff. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of anything else crazy going on with this team other than that
No,
stalwart.
not really.
It's most of the same tools that we've seen on teams before. Zachary Weed, one of Rose New England local people, playing Volcarona, King Gambit, Balance. Notable thing for theirs, they do have the Unburdened Sneasler. So once their sash gets broken, they are Unburdened activates and whatnot. But the sash has to actually be activated.
Yes,
You
cannot
can't just
be
hit it and
hit.
then you get unburdened. You actually have to go to one. So that's always kind of just like a scary thing. It's just like, oh, I got hit, so now my sash won't never activate. And so then it becomes a lot of pivoting around with Rillaboom to try and get to that point of getting healed back up so you can get your sash to activate.
But also, like, of note there, this doesn't have Protect either.
Yeah. It is in a rough spot. That's why we have Fake Out. We're again, fast Fake Out.
Terra Stellar Fake Out, baby.
Yeah. Get them.
We're going to do 14% instead of 10%.
Awesome. We also, again, have the Follow Me Electabuzz being able to redirect any hits from our big Sneasler just to make sure that we can get some more damage off, even if we're not getting our Unburdened trigger every time. Sweeper Volcarona with Quiver Dance, pretty standard stuff. Scale Shot Dragonite, pretty standard stuff. Terra Dark King Gambit, pretty standard stuff. Yeah, this team feels very standard.
Yep.
And
outside
again,
of,
outside of the Unburden instead of the Poison Touch, it's pretty standard. Which I feel like Unburden and Poison Touch kind of go back and forth either way.
Yeah.
But we mentioned it earlier. It kind of feels outdated with the Terra Dark King Gambit. Kaylin Brown has Hug, as what we've kind of affectionately called this team.
No, not we.
Rose picked it up, so I'm gonna say we.
All right, that's fair.
Golden Go, Hydreigon, and then regular Ursaluna with P2 Amoonguss support to kind of round out the whole. I guess the best way to call it is like Trick Room Core.
Mm-hmm.
We are Hydreigon filling in for a very similar role to what like Dragonite kind of fills in. Tailwind, big damage with Draco Meteor. We also just have damage reduction in Snarl. Levitate gives us a ground immunity for our 2 ground weak Pokemon. Yeah, there's a lot to like here. One of the big changes from previous Porygon 2 sets is we are Terra Fairy instead of like Terra Fighting. I feel like that's fine. It's a fine change. Fairy typing as like a whole is still like really strong. It's just hard to come by good fairy types.
Yep.
That's why we see like Alolan Ninetales and Primarina and the Terra Fairy Volcarona. Fairy coverage as a whole is just hard to come by, so Terra Fairy Porygon 2 is probably fine. Looking at the rest of this, normal Ursaluna, pretty normal Incineroar. Terra Dragon, Make It Rain, Medical Golden Go is fine. Dragon's not super common. I think it's like third common. And then Covert Cloak, Fire, Amoonguss, pretty common. How many more do we got? 2 more for Top Cut. James Evans. This is new Rain. Not quite the same, not quite exactly like the other Rain team, but this is kind of just like it plays the Choice Scarf Pelipper, which is an interesting wrinkle in how Rain teams are evolving. Instead of playing Tailwind, you have access to like fast Icy Wind, fast Muddy Water, some different interaction pieces instead. To make up for that loss of Tailwind, we play Whimsicott. This could also just be any Tailwind Mon, I feel like. But Whimsicott kind of fits what the rest of this team's doing, because we have 3 very strong special attackers, so we want that fake tears.
Yeah, fake tears
access.
Encore is really... I like this Whimsicott a lot.
And then for our physical hitter, we have Basculegion doing its thing, and Incineroar kind of cleaning up with Assault Vest. This team, it feels like it's probably a good adaptation of taking the Rain team that probably was that was not like the TR heavy versions, and adapting it more to be more offensively focused. I feel like is the best way to put it.
Yeah, I can agree with
we
that.
still have like some of our bulky pivot pieces in like Incineroar. We have Pelipper that's kind of doing this in and out thing with Scarf, wanting to Icy Wind and or Muddy Water and or Hurricane and or Weather Ball, like wanting to pivot around there. Archaludon being the Power Herb Sturdy set instead of the Assault Vest set means that we are definitely leaning harder on just being a special attacking mon. Fake Tears has a lot more responsibility, I guess, to help make sure our damage gets across. And the other cool thing is the Golden Go. This picked up the tech from the Scarf sets, which was instead of playing like Power Gem or Thunderbolt in that last damage slot, you play Terra Blast, and you are Terra fighting Terra Blast Golden Go. Doing a very similar thing to what the Basculegion was doing, but this one, it actually acts as a defensive Terra type, because a lot of the times they're going to want to click knockoff into you, and so then you resist the knockoff. So yes, they took away your life orb, but you still have a lot of your HP remaining after the fact.
And I'm sure like life orb Terra Blast into non-boosted Terra Blast probably KOs like most Ensigns, I would guess.
I would believe so.
I'm just simply doing the head calc, but I'm sure that's pretty close.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure pretty sure it gets there. Last top cut team, Rajan Ball. This is a new one. Here you go. Why play Prankster when you can just be Chlorophyll?
So on first look, that has to be wrong. But also, it's not.
We know at this point, at this stage of the game, I don't think this is wrong. I think this is correct.
So here's the crazy thing about it. Like, Whimsicott's fast enough where, like, not having Prankster outside, like, you don't need Prankster to, like, go first to set your Tailwind, right?
Right.
Like, it's only in the exact mirror match where it's a problem. And so, like, then you just have this incidental, just like, all right, we're gonna go, turbo fast and just like hit you with a Moonblast when I need to.
Interesting, because I'm sitting here thinking, like, man, like, what does not having Prankster do for you in the situation of this team? Like,
interestingly, it means you can encore opposing Ensigns.
Yeah, you get to encore all the dark types.
I think that by itself is worth like quite a bit. Like, being able to lock in an Ensign into Fake Out seems really powerful.
This is another situation where I think, like, if we were Covert Cloak instead of Sash, it would probably be a little bit better.
I can take it or leave it.
Like, the big thing is like, oh, you clicked Fake Out into whatever's sitting next to my Whimsicott, so now I'm going to lock you into Fake Out or force you to pivot. Like, that's your options there. There's no if, ands, or buts about it.
Mm-hmm.
That way you're not forced to Terra, and like it lets you still play off like aggressively, because they're going to click Fake Out if you're Covert Cloak, because they're still going to click Fake Out into whatever usually. Whereas if you're Sash, it forces you to protect, so you're not playing aggressive with your Whimsicott anymore. You're kind of just playing protect and lets your opponent get into that Fake Out loop, eventually getting your Whimsicott and breaking the Sash for free, or forcing your Ghost Terra. So just thoughts on that. This Ninetales is super neat, because we are just like nasty plot Heatwave.
Nasty plot Ninetales is not on my bingo card.
We are just gonna hit these moves and blow up.
Yeah. My bingo card did not have Chlorophyll Whimsicott, Nasty Plot Ninetales. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, everything else is pretty okay. Like
everything else is fine.
pretty
Terra Water Rillaboom's not super common, but it's not out of this world.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this is another Dragonite with the Terra Normal with a Terra Steel Extreme Speed Scale Shot combo. This one is foregoing the Tailwind because we have Tailwind on Whimsicott. We are playing a Life Orb Terra Normal Ursaluna Blood Moon, just going to hyper voice people down. And then we have Maushold doing its thing with Follow Me Taunt.
Maushold is Maushold.
Maushold is Maushold. This one is not playing Pop Bomb, unfortunately. But
so it's just incorrect. Got it.
It's the Friend Guard version. And that wraps up the top 15, the top cut for Pittsburgh.
I have a very impatient little pupper.
I see that. Were we going to talk about...
She's stuck in the office with me since Tiff is laying down and Noah's watching the Chiefs game, so...
We would be remiss if we didn't mention Rowan Hall and Joshua Karibo Wong. Where did I see them? They were both top 84, or top 128, I thought. There they are.
Yeah,
playing pretty much
fire,
the exact Friendly Fire. Got paired. I think it was like round 11 or something.
I think they were 7-3 at the time.
Yeah, so it's so that would be round 11. Friendly Fire. So their teams were pretty close. Almost exactly the same.
You did the math earlier, and they're like one.
It was. I think it was a Life Orb difference.
Yes.
Yeah, it's literally Life Orb. That's literally the difference. Shout out to both of them for making top 128 though, and day 2 at Pittsburgh.
I know Josh said that this is his like best finish. So
yeah,
again, just he is a player that just like continues to improve every time he plays, and he's so good, man. Josh is really just he's honestly just a super great guy too.
Yeah.
One of these days, him and I are going to get to a regional together at the same time, and then proceed to go to the closest amusement park together.
I found Delphox just for you.
Yeah, I played 5 of the 6 here.
Yes, you did.
And now, because I'm transitioning to being a TCG player, I'm a Dragapult player. So
we'll have to nip that in the bud. We're not gonna let you go to TCG full.
Why are you biting? No, I have fancy energies now, Carl. I'm a gamer.
No. All right. I think that is it for Pittsburgh. Unless there was another team you wanted to cover.
I'm good. I'm getting mauled, so
I can hear it. All right.
She is ready to play, and as a result, she is ready to get out of this office.
Get out of the office, yeah. That said, it's time to get out of here ourselves.
Yep, I had to go figure out dinner, so
I already ate.
And then I'm gonna go play some more DK64. I was telling Carl before we started, I am like 3 hours into this randomizer seed, and it really just shows me, one, how little I know about this game.
Yeah.
And
it's
two,
always wild.
Like, these current season settings that they have make for incredibly fast or incredibly long seeds, and there's like no in between. It feels like watching races is like, all right, this was a 80-minute seed, and then like the next one is like, all right, cool, we're coming up on 2.5 hours, and the first person just finished.
Yeah, I feel like the good amount of time for DK64 seeds is like an hour and a half. That's how much I can stand like watching a seed be played through, which funnily enough is like how much like the Kevin settings are. It's like usually about an hour and a half to 2 hours is about the max on how long one of those seeds run.
I haven't got to go see Kevin this seed. Here's the thing: no one knows what I'm talking about. There's probably like 2 people in the audience who has any idea what the hell I just said.
All right, Carter, get us out of here.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you come and follow us over on Blue Sky. Carl, myself, and Angela are all over there, as well as like our podcast. Come join the community Discord. Follow us on Patreon if you really like what we do here and want to support us and go the extra mile. Leave us a review on Spotify and all those podcast platforms, and I think it's time to go. I think somebody's tired, so
Yeah, it's me.
I think somebody's hungry. In reality, it's past dinner time, Carl. So,
well, then get going.
all right,
Bye, everyone.
bye.